Hi Turbos, we're here today to do a video of a clipped-in mount. This was a session that I did previously with a group a couple of years ago and was very well received. So I thought I'd make a video of it and for everybody to see while we're social distancing. So this is not going to be a flying mount, this is a clipped-in mount. And the idea is to save time in your transition from swim to bike in two areas. Number one, you won't have to stop and put your shoes on in transition. And number two, once you cross the mount line, you won't have to be worried about clipping your shoes into the pedals because they'll already be there. Equipment wise, you need triathlon cycling shoes rather than cycling shoes, and the difference being they tend to have just one strap rather than multiple straps. They tend to have a stiffer heel so that when you're sliding your foot in they don't collapse on you, and they have these little hoops for you to attach the elastic bands. So we start by clipping them into the bike onto the pedals, and that's just a firm press down. If your cleats are new, that might be a bit too firm, in which case just do it with your feet in the shoes. And then what we do is we hook the elastic bands onto, I'm just putting it onto the skewer here, and then with the other shoe, similar thing. I'm just going to clip that in, and then I'm going to find something suitable to hook that onto, which I'm going to use the little screw here on the back of the derailleur. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put these pedals into a suitable position, and I always put my left foot first, but whatever works for you, whichever way round you want. And before I start, there's two things that I do slightly differently to other people. I'm not saying this is the right way, but for me it works. The first thing is most people put their foot on top of the shoe and then they push off, and that works perfectly well, but I find the problem with that is that the elastic band breaks too early and then the shoe drops. It's then difficult to get your foot into the shoe. So what I tend to do instead is I put my foot into the shoe and then I push off. So obviously putting your foot into the shoe like that takes an extra second or so, but it's guaranteed. Your foot's in the shoe and then you swing your other leg straight into the other shoe, both feet in both shoes, done. It's guaranteed, it works. The other thing that I do slightly differently is once you're cycling and you're on the bars here, you have to reach down and do the straps up because you want the straps done up firmly. And most people do that from here on their TT bike, presuming they're using a TT bike. But the problem with that is that when you're reaching down, because you're up high, you're reaching further. So what I do instead is I go down onto the tri-bars and then I reach down, because actually you're lower down and there's less reach and your balance is better. So two things that are slightly different, but for me they work. Key thing is to practice this. Okay, so now I'm going to do the mount. This here is going to be our imaginary mount line by the pole here. I'll do the mount and I'm going to aim to be completely clipped in, shoes done up by the gate, which is just down there 100 metres or so. I'm then going to turn around, come back to this point and do a dismount as well. Dismount is obviously much simpler and easier. So I'm just going to back up a little bit so that I'm in a pretend transition as well. Okay, and now I'm just going to run up to the mount line and form that mount.